Now we prove the Jordan-Holder theorem. So consider two subnormal composition series for group G. So one of the series is G you set as G0. G0 contains G1 as a normal subgroup, which contains G2 as a normal subgroup, all the way to Gn, which is set as 1. There is another composition series. You start with H0, which is set as G. Then H1 is a normal subgroup of H0. H2 is a normal subgroup of H1, all the way to Hm. So we have two subnormal composition series of different length. This is of length n and this is of length m. So we are saying this theorem says that then this m is equal to n, and these factor groups which you have gi over gi plus 1 and ha over ha plus 1, these two will agree up to isomorphism. That is, you can permute this I to some j, some gi here to some ha here, and then these factor groups or quotient groups would agree. So they agree up to isomorphism after permuting the indices. So to prove this, we will use induction, and this induction would be on the length of the composition series. So for n equals to 0, you have to nothing to prove. If n is just 0, you just have the trivial element, and there is nothing to show. You just have 1, because for 0 you can't do anything. You have to just set it as trivial group. Now assume n is greater than 0, and our induction hypothesis is that this n is equal to m for n minus 1. So if the composition series is n minus 1, then they are of the same length. So in case G1 is equal to H1, if these two are equal, then the result immediately follows from induction hypothesis, because G1 has a composition series of length n minus 1. So total length is n. So if you are starting from G1, then your length is n minus 1, and by induction hypothesis it will hold. So only thing interesting is when G1 is not equal to H1. So first notice that this G1 H1 is precisely the group G. So G1 H1 consists of elements, say G1 and H1, where G1 lies in G1 and H1 lies in H1. Now this is equal to G precisely because G1 is a normal subgroup of G, H1 is a normal subgroup of G, so G1 H1 is a normal subgroup of G. But this G1 H1, this also contains G1 and it also contains H1, both of which are maximal in G. Now since both of them are maximal in G, it has to be the case that G1 H1 is precisely G. So now you set K as G1 intersection H1, and say you have a composition series for K which looks like this. So this is the composition series for K. So now G1 modulo K out, you get so G1 you'll write like this. K definition, by definition we have set as G1 intersection H1. So now we use the second isomorphism theorem right here. So second isomorphism theorem says if you have something like this, this becomes G1 H1 over H1. So this comes from second isomorphism theorem. But G1 H1, we are already saying this G1 H1 is equal to G. So that's why we write G here. H1 you write as such. So G1 over K is G over H1. And so that means G1 over K is simple because G over H1 is simple. So H0 over H1 is simple, as you can see from here. That is by definition of subnormal composition series, and H0 is equal to G. So G over H1 is simple. So this is simple, and that immediately implies that this is also simple. So same procedure, instead of G1 over K, you can use H1 over K, and you go through the same process here. You get G over G1. So you have G over G1. So since G0 over G1 is simple, that means G over G1 is simple. Same thing. So this is simple by definition of composition series, because this is given in composition series to be simple here. So H1 over K is also simple. So this is simple. So we have this is simple and this is simple. So the quotients are simple. So we have two composition series for G now. So you go to G1 and behind G1 you put this K, because G1 over K is simple. You take the second composition series here, so instead of starting from G0 we are just putting G here because there's equality here. So you copy this series right here. So again this thing comes right here. You've attached the first two things till H1, and after, since H1 over K is simple, you have another composition series right here. You copy paste this composition series behind here. So we are copying this composition series right here in both these terms, because this portion is simple, this portion is simple. Now both these series have the same length. Trivially you can see, both of them end at KR, which is 1. So both of these series have the same length. You have equality here, everywhere is equality, and you have equality here. Now by induction hypothesis, we have the following composition series for G1 and H1. So since we have an induction hypothesis, so this will agree with our this series, because this portion is of length n minus 1, and by induction hypothesis the length is the same, so this length agrees with this length. Similarly, this length would agree with this length, but now both the lengths are the same. So you see that the lengths are the same. Now the quotient groups are also same. At least you can see K over K1, K1 over K2, because all these are the same. The quotient groups are the same, but there can be some adjustment for isomorphism, and that you can see from here. So for K, the coefficients are the same because you have the same composition series here, same here. But notice that this G1 over K, is same as G over H1. So you have to permute the elements from 1 to 0. So this from 1 you have to go to 0. So that is why we are saying this agree up to permutation. Now same thing you can see for here, H1 over K, this H1 over K is same as G over G1, this G over G1. So again you have to permute this here, 0 to 1, or you can say taking 1 to 0. So you have to permute them, so the coefficients, the successive quotient groups are the same, and for this composition series it's the same. So by induction it was easy to show this, simply because we were able to construct such a series and just attach it back, and for G1 H1 we were able to show this thing.